It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and thank you for watching or listening to another episode, downloading another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Nielson and Gage, Kass and Hernan Salas with you once again. And as always, Two Guys and a Goalie brought to you by our friends at CoolBet. Sign up for an account today, coolbet.com. Enter the bonus code 2GUYS, number 2 in the word guys. 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. You can get into the NHL bet building program that they've got over there. I lost on 2 NBA bet builders last night, but I did hit a Calgary Anaheim bet builder last night. So we'll discuss that a little bit with Chris Abbott. Calgary's a good team to bet on as of late, whether it drive you crazy or not. We'll get to the Flames in a little bit. Kass, down at the office today, buddy. Hair's all done, looking so pretty. How you doing, man?
Yeah, looking so fly. I'm good.
You fly.
Yeah, so fly. No, we're good. Cassie household is just plugging along here, and I gotta go help at school tomorrow for hot lunch day. So
you're allowed back into the school now?
Yeah, they're letting us back in now.
Wow.
And you got to do you have to do like a rapid test before.
Okay.
Like they rapid test everyone there. And you still got to wear a mask, which whatever. It'll just be fun getting to do that. So
that'll be awesome.
She's pretty pumped. So it'll be my first time. Yeah, it's so for grade 1 to be able to actually go in and volunteer. So I'm just delivering pizza. So I'm a pizza guy now.
Dude, no, you're not a pizza guy. You're a hero to a bunch of 6-year-olds. That's what you are, man. You got to look at it that way.
It's true. Yeah, I am bringing them delicious food, and they're going to be pumped.
We used to have a hot dog day on Wednesdays in elementary school in Cranbrook, and it was the highlight of every week, every single day in school. I mean, I guess we had a lame school, but hot dog day was the best. Gager, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just flashing back to those moments of helping out on school trips and handing out the food and going in and doing those things. Horrible days, just horrible. They always went. There was interesting things that always happened to me. I'll say one to tell you guys off the air. It was an interesting name of one of the students that I tried to say and it didn't come out properly. And I always seem to get in trouble by the teachers for talking to kids. Like it was always like Mr. Gage, and I was always getting reprimanded, especially on the field trips to the what's it called, the thing down in the river valley there. Fort
Edmonton.
Yeah. I liked making the bannock all the time, and I wanted to make more because look, I was hungry. I was usually rooting through my own kids' food and stuff and seeing what other people ate. But it's that's a wild ride, Kass. You got a lot of years ahead of you with that. That's exciting.
I was going to say, I thought when you said that thing down in the river valley, I thought you were going to say the river. What's that thing down in the river valley? The river. Yeah,
that thing. Mr. Gage, that's enough bannock for you. Go easy on the bannock, Gager. Hernan, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Not much, man. Just taking in some info I received about 10 minutes ago, and keep that kind of like Gager. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
Speaking of school, Dusty, do you remember the High Guard pizza subs back in? Did you guys any of you guys do that?
I got a good story about those.
Please tell it right now.
So this might get me in trouble. I don't know if I've ever told this story publicly before, but I was part of what may have been the most corrupt student council of all time. Corrupt isn't the right word, but like we definitely were horrible and didn't do anything. I was like the sports rep, supposed to plan the ski trip, and we didn't get enough people to sign up, so we had to cancel it. Good job by me, I guess. But one of my buddies ran the school store, and so we all had to take turns in student council, like running the school store. But you have to follow like all the health, like they had the health code and health stuff. And so we would come up with very creative ways for the High Guard subs, because we had those there, like to break food standards so that we could just eat them. So, so we would, yeah, a lot of subs were like dropped a little bit on the counter, or like picked up without gloves on by accident, like after they've been heated up and all that. But man, those things were delicious. Like 20, 30 seconds in the microwave, and those were tasty.
So good.
Amazing.
I love it. The High Guard Scandal. That could be the name of the episode. Wait, do this here. I'm a huge 7-Eleven pizza sub guy, and they still have those subs today, which is good. I'm always afraid every time I go in any 7-Eleven, they're not going to be there anymore, and I'm going to lose my mind. But High Guard, I didn't really get into the High Guards till I moved to Fort Mac. I'm in Fort Mac. I mean, you go into a superstore and it's just bins and bins of High Guard subs. So I started buying High Guard subs up there. And you're right. I mean, 20, 30 seconds in the microwave. They're like 5 bites, freaking delicious. And at the house that I moved into, I lived with like a married couple, and I got like a small little square part of the fridge, and that was it. And all it was High Guard subs. It was just the whole fridge was just High Guard subs. I think it was actually the first food item I ever offered my now wife when she came over for lunch. I was like, "You want a High Guard sub? I got a ton of High Guard subs over here." So yeah, God, I haven't had one in probably 5 years though.
You haven't had them since your wedding, when that's what you served everybody for dinner.
Oh, that's so good. All right, we've got lots to get to. Chris Abbott's going to be by in about 15. We got lots of NHL stuff we're going to get to. The Oilers, they've won 2 since last time we spoke and had an episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. If you're watching on the live stream, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Gager, but let's start with the big news of the morning, the big news of late last night. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Just our women winning gold at the Olympics. Again, it's funny watching it with my wife late and having her yell at the women to why is she shooting from there? What is she doing? It was quite comical. Again, her commentary. I didn't record it, but I will get this on documented somehow at some point. But the funniest thing about it was this morning she goes, I don't think I ever have sat there and watched a whole hockey game. Not even yours. I was always in the wives' room having a beverage. That was the first game I actually sat through. So we sat through it. It was exciting. I mean, you talk about Marie-Philippe Poulin's domination in gold medal games and scoring all the time. Just an amazing accomplishment. But I mean, I got to do it, but I have to go to the goaltending. Her name, Anne Renee Desbiens. I mean, Desbiens. She was awesome. She was really good, man. Like her movement and getting in front of the puck, making huge saves. Like they had to do something special to score on her, and she outplayed the American goalie. I was very happy last night with her play and just to see the elation afterwards. And you know what, the coolest thing was the medal ceremony to me was handing each other the medals. That was a pretty cool little thing to watch and seeing all that hard work after 4 years and getting to that point. So good job for them. Fun to watch. Great to watch with my wife. Sat through the whole thing, made it all the way through. Congratulations.
Desbiens was terrific. I mean, the States pushed pretty hard there once they fell behind, and I thought she did an excellent job. I just threw it out on Twitter, and I know, Sidney Crosby had the goal and stuff, but I don't know if there's ever been a hockey player more clutch than Philippe Poulin, because every single time these two teams meet in the big game, she's either scoring the winner or setting it up. Like it's clutch moment after clutch moment after clutch moment, which is just... How crazy is it to go, like, heading into the game yesterday, like, well, Marie-Philippe Poulin's probably going to score the winner at some point. And sure enough, she had 3 points, 2 goals, and had the winner. Like, it was, it's remarkable, man. I know, it flies under the radar a little bit overall in the big picture because it's women's hockey, but, I mean, she's one of the most clutch hockey players in the history of the sport. It's incredible.
I
agree.
There's lots of head nods.
Everybody's just nodding their head. I was just like, what the hell's going on?
I didn't know who was going to speak first.
It's because here, I'll follow up. I'll follow up. It's because, and maybe this is why it is, because they always have the big game against the United States, and all eyes are always on it. Whereas different games, more challenging moments, maybe along the way, in different matchups for some of the men's teams along the way, and maybe not as many guys on the same team all the time. And then in the National Hockey League, it's tough to repeat over and over with overtime winner here and overtime winner there. So she's been put in the spot to do it, and I guess it's very impressive that she always lives up to it. It's very incredible, and we'll see where it goes with women's hockey. I mean, there's kind of that top tier, and then there's another little tier quite a ways down, and then there's a bottom tier that are still trying to work their way up. But congratulations to the Canadian women for winning gold again for Canada. We'll get to what I got to talk about a little bit later on. Let's go to Hernan next. Hernan, what do we got to talk about, buddy?
Yeah, Oilers back in action tonight against the Ducks. One part of they've played really well in the last 3 games on the Woodcroft, but one part of their game it's not just struggling. I think it's falling off a cliff is their power play. So let's have some fun with it. I'm going to ask Gager, who would be your point guy? Nurse, Barry, or Bouchard? Kass, I'm going to ask you, who should be the net front presence to start the power play? Hyman, Kane, Puljujärvi, or other? And then Dusty's going to get the tough one. And I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying I agree with it or anything. But Nuge, I think he's 11th in the NHL in power play time, and he has 0 goals. So is there option here to maybe see if you can try someone else there, maybe move Nuge to the second power play? I'm not saying I want that. I'm just throwing that out there. So 3 questions. I guess, Gager, who would you start at the point?
Well, that's a good one, buddy. To tell you, well, I'm going to eliminate Nurse right now.
Okay.
Okay, he's out. But I think that's the key. The key point is establishing that top shot and getting the puck through. I think that's key for the Oilers moving forward with their struggles on the power play. And to be honest, I think I go with Barry just because. As we know, he's been struggling a little bit. Woodcroft's been giving a little bit of a carrot and putting him in different situations and trying to get him going. He does have that ability to get the puck through. And Bouchard does too. That's why I'm hesitating a little bit with who I would put up there. But I think if Barry can get a little bit more confidence and just be, you know what, if I'm going to get that puck at the top, I'm ripping it on net and getting it through and causing havoc down there. I'm just going to go with Barry right now, just on the experience side, and get him going, because I think that's going to be a key position moving forward to get that power play back on track.
Kass, who are you sticking in front of the goaltender?
I'm putting Evander Kane right there in front of the goaltender. Puljujärvi, I think, is a good second option. Hyman has done some good things around the net. Like, it's not a big knock on him. But I want a guy that is engaged physically, that the defenseman thinks that if I cross-check this guy, he's just as likely to cross-check me back or, butt in me in the teeth. If I try to move him, he engages physically, and he's a goal scorer. So, he's an option. If you try to work things through the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins side, he can slide out for a quick one-timer. Has the option to plant his feet and try to have a tap in when Draisaitl has it from an angle standpoint, where he can try to box people out himself to create some offense. So I like Evander Kane there. The biggest question to me, and we'll talk about it after, is where are you trying to work the puck for your primary and secondary plays here? That's the big question for me. It's something they need to figure out.
Well, Dusty's pulling the goalie and putting Jesse in there too. So
why not?
Nuge is the topic of conversation, just because I was kind of surprised when I heard yesterday he had 0 goals on the power play. No, he has 15 assists, and I'm not saying he's the problem. This is a whole unit problem here. It's not just Nuge, but you're not taking McDavid and Draisaitl. So would you look at trying someone else instead of Nuge, Dusty?
I don't think I would, to be honest with you.
Okay.
He said he's got 15 assists, and Nugent Hopkins' role where they have him, on that power play is not really to shoot. I mean, the odd time you're going to get a spot where you have to shoot, and Kass can break down the power play for me a little bit, but I don't see him being in a spot to shoot, or really that power play ever funneling the puck over there to him to shoot. I mean, they usually get it to him, and he'll cut down into that little sort of behind the back drop back up to the blue line at certain times. So I think I probably leave him there. I mean, if Kass wants to put Kane in front of the net, I really don't know who else you're throwing on that left side, to be honest with you. I come back to my idea that I've been talking about for 3 weeks, which is dueling power plays, where McDavid and Draisaitl each draft their own unit, and whichever one's going gets the bulk of the ice time. Plus, if you're not going to put Nuge out on the top power play unit, there is no second power play unit with the way it's designed right now. So you're essentially taking them off the power play altogether because they just don't run the other unit. So I think I would leave Nugent Hopkins on that unit. But I want to go back to what Kass said. He want to talk a little bit about how, where they're supposed to be running that puck for their A and B chances. Kass, what do you got there?
Well, what I was going to say.
We lost you.
He muted himself.
You muted yourself.
I thought I hit the unmute.
You scared us.
But I didn't.
I thought you were saying something really good. I was like, what?
No. No, I was going to say, do you guys really think that the power play is struggling because Ryan Nugent-Hopkins isn't scoring? Is that the real reason? Because he's still producing at a pretty good pace, 5-on-5 points-wise, and I don't think that's the reason. Now, I think the reason is that they're trying to go too high risk on the plays, which is high risk, high reward. Like, how often, especially last game, did we see them? And McDavid was guilty of it. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was guilty of it. Barry was guilty of it, trying to thread the needle to go what we would call a seam play or a seam pass to a one-timer guy. That was the default. That was all they had. That's all they were trying to do, and it just didn't work. What I think needs to happen, if you can get Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to be a little bit more of a threat in that side, fine. But what you need to do is you need to work the puck and get some shots from the point. And I sound like an old broken record with that, and I probably sound like I'm an old grandpa in hockey, like, oh, you just shoot. And like one of those people at the crowd that just starts going, shoot, on the power play. But the reality is you open other teams up when that happens. When the puck moves through the point, if you can get that puck through and create some chaos, now all of a sudden the set pressure that teams have, their ability to establish their defensive zone penalty kill system against you becomes a lot more difficult because they have to collapse to trouble. And now all of a sudden they're having to skate, they're having to move distance, they're having to cover for each other in order to try to stop the power play. Like, how often, guys, have we seen sustained power play pressure with chance after chance after chance with the puck going to the net? We haven't. And what happens when guys' legs gets tired, that's when all of a sudden those seam plays that they love so much start opening up. So I don't think the issue so much is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think he can still be effective in that spot. I think the bigger issue is really where, for the early parts of your power play, where are you trying to move the puck? How are you running it? And I just want to see them moving it to the point a little bit more or a little bit more quickly with the intention of getting the puck to the net early in the power play.
Yeah, because, Marner, so I think he scored his first power play goal in 2 years, right? So, and with that, and looking at Darnell Nurse last year on the power play, why did he score so much? Is that nice little wrister that he was getting through to the net? We were talking about at the beginning of the year when the Oilers power play was going crazy. One of their biggest attributes, I think, is how they hunt pucks as well. Like Jesse was grabbing pucks and taking them back after they're, like Kass said, creating that chaos after that first shot. What it does as a goalie, like that silenced wrister with traffic, and you can't see it. It's so hard to control those rebounds too, right? Because you're just trying to basically become a blocker at that point, and you get all the defenders starting to turn and locate the puck, and that's when the Oilers' skill really takes over in that small zone play where a quick little pass from Nuge over to Draisaitl for that one-timer. That's, like you said, Kass, that's when those plays open up. But the simplifying at the beginning of the power play and then creating that chaos, that's so key to any power play that I was scared of. That's how it always, that's where they generated. They got to have that place where they shoot the puck from consistently, because then teams will start to try to take that away, and then it opens everything else up.
And again, like not, it was just for the conversation. I don't think Nuge. I just don't think there's like Dusty said, there's not a better option right now. But keep in mind, last game we did see Kane and Yamamoto start a power play with Bouchard, McDavid, and Draisaitl. So maybe something to keep an eye out on tonight. But yeah, I don't think Nuge is the issue. I think it's all five guys on the ice at the time. So good discussion though. Great breakdown, Kass.
Gager, did you steal that Nurse silencer take from the guy on Sportsnet Monday night that was doing the game? Hey, is that you, Gager?
That guy was pretty good looking, sharp, smart.
Wearing that nice suit, as I said. That was good. All right, Kass, what do we got to get to, buddy? What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about it, but I just want to jump in because I finally got the stat here. I just wanted to confirm it. Is Ryan Nugent Hopkins right now is 10th or 11th, 11th in the league in power play assists. So
he's serving his purpose.
He's serving his purpose. Like, what are you expecting here? Like, I don't know. I just think he's done what he's supposed to do. He's not on a one-timer side. He's a playmaker on the power play and a puck mover versus a shooter. So
you see what happens when he's not on the power, when he was injured there. Power play goes in the pooper, you know?
Who took that spot when he was injured? Was it Yamamoto?
I think they rotated through. Yamamoto was there for a little bit. Didn't they try Hyman there?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a couple guys.
All right, good power play discussion, boys. Kass, where else did you want to go, man?
All right. So I wanted to talk about how good the Colorado Avalanche are. Man, they lose the other night to Dallas. They had 19 games without a loss in regulation. Pretty stellar. 24, 2, and 3 in their last 29 games. Holy smokes, these guys. Like, we knew they were going to be good, but with Nazem Kadri playing as well as he is, their depth went from being really good depth to being like insane depth. We all know what Cale Makar is capable of. They have a fantastic back end, but these guys right now, like we talked, I think the other day about how Calgary, and I'm sure we're going to talk about Calgary here again, how they may be the top or right near the top in the Pacific Division, and who's really going to win in a battle between them and Vegas. And I'm kind of like, does it even matter at this point? Because it just feels like Colorado is going to just roll people. And Darcy Kemper, he's starting to play well as well, where he had struggled for a little bit, and Colorado at the start of the season a little bit rocky, pun intended on that one.
I got that.
See what I did there. Man, they're if you get a chance to watch them, guys, if you haven't, they are a fun team to watch, not just because of their skill, but they work hard too. They have skill that can beat you in a variety of different ways. Like, they have the high power offensive guys, they have some power forward style guys, and then they have the creme de la creme, the snow of the peaks. In Cale Makar, who's just a joy to watch as well. Like, they're a fun team, and I don't think there's anybody that's playing better than them in the NHL right now.
Well, yeah, that's it's interesting. Because they're so good. We've seen what the Flames have done over their last 8 games. Eichel now activated in Vegas, and I'm kind of looking at, and I'm talking to my neighbors about what they're all worried about what the Oilers can do. And just on an Oilers side, like I really liked the game that they played against the Kings the other night. Like, that was a very hard physical game. I felt like the Kings, granted, they're not the Avalanche with the skill level that they possess, but they did play a very hard physical game. And I liked how the Oilers matched up. The Oilers are gonna have to find definitely another level. Maybe it is the power play, right? They have to get that power play cooking. So if to take advantage of other teams' mistakes that way. But man, that's those top 3 teams now. That's going to be tough. This Western Conference, those guys. That's going to be a interesting playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. They're great. That game yesterday was fun. 8 guys in double digits in goals already for the Colorado Avalanche. They're like, both goalies are at .921 save percentage. Like, no weaknesses, but I guess Kass, the big part here is can they get it done in the playoffs, right? That's where they haven't been able to. But I'm with you, man. These guys are awesome to watch. I can't wait till they play the Oilers. That's gonna be awesome. Like McDavid, Draisaitl going up against the trio there, and then you add guys like Newhook and Kadri and that O'Connor. Like they have some legit bottom six guys as well. They're young too, so fun team for sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to do great in the playoffs until Kadri gets suspended for 7 games.
He has to. He has to not do that this year of all years, right? Like, okay, let's do mine. We'll get to we got to talk about with me, and then we'll bring in Chris Sapp, and then we'll keep it or clip it a little bit later on in the episode of mine. I mean, I know we kind of talked about the Calgary Flames and the Pacific and everything, but they're not just beating teams lately. Like, they're crushing teams lately. Their goal differential is among the best in the league. We're talking with the Colorados and those powerhouses in the East. Like, that's the spot. And a lot of it has happened lately, but that's the spot they've put themselves in. If you look at their last 7 games, they've won 8 in a row. The first game of that 8-game winning streak was a 1-0 overtime win against the Canucks. Since then, 4-3, 4-2. They beat Vegas 6-0. They beat Toronto 5-2. They beat the Islanders 5-2. They beat Columbus 6-2. And they beat Anaheim 6-2. Toffoli's still just kind of finding his way. They've got a goalie who can absolutely lock it down. I know we were like, are they the biggest challenge in the Pacific for the Golden Knights? I think we up it 3 days later and just legitimately ask, do you guys see the Calgary Flames as an elite team in the National Hockey League with the likes of the Colorados and Tampas and Floridas? Hell, Pittsburgh's leading their division right now. Like, there's all those juggernauts in the East. You got Colorado in the West. From a statistical perspective, the Calgary Flames probably belong in that conversation, but do you guys view them like that just yet?
I do now, with adding Toffoli, proven in the playoffs to score big goals, just another weapon like that. And really, looking at all those teams except, like you said, Tampa, Dusty, like Markstrom's unbelievable. Like the Flames have so many layers when you watch them play to get through their forwards, get through their D, and then you have to go up and get it by Markstrom. That's a tough task, man. They're a well-suited team for the playoffs. I think with all these guys, I think the biggest factor is staying healthy. Like these next couple months are going to be a very grinding few months trying to get playoff positioning and playing every second night. So I think the biggest factor with any of these top teams is making sure there's no bumps and bruises and guys aren't missing time when playoffs come around.
Yeah, and that D-core, I think many of us were a little concerned before the season, like how are they going to hold it? They've been outstanding. Like Shillington's really come on. Markstrom has 8 shutouts. I think his health is key here for sure. And then you look at Gaudreau, man. Like, he's only 3 points back of McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, this guy's having an outstanding season. So I think, Dusty, you have to put him up there with the elite right now.
I hate the Flames.
But? Is there a but?
Nope.
Oh, there's no but? Okay.
Nope. They're a good team. They are not an elite team yet.
So what do you need to see then, Kass? For the,
what do I need to see?
Yeah, like I'm just curious to put them in that group.
They need to continue what they're doing. Like, are they on their way to being able to be called that? Sure. Are they there yet? No. Do I believe that they're there yet? No, I do not. Just like I wouldn't say the same thing about Edmonton. Or even at the start of the season when Edmonton was playing really well, I don't think I said that they were an elite team. They were on their way to becoming one, and it just didn't hold up. And I just still feel like we could see that with Calgary. With that being said, every single time, ever since we started doing this podcast, I have ever said anything about the Calgary
What are you
Flames,
doing?
I've always been wrong.
That's terrible. Like, what are you doing right now?
Kiss of success right now. That's what I call it, the kiss of success.
I can't do it though, Gager. I can't lie. I can't lie to you.
I'm going to put out your address, and your house is going to get destroyed.
Straight up dox me. Yeah, people are going to be calling SWAT teams on my house.
You have to praise the Flames if you want to not have to move there. All right.
Yeah.
Kass, you have to. Who do you hate the most, Flames or Leafs?
You can't put a man in that position.
Is that a there's this thing, I like to call them, it's a both and situation.
Oh, okay.
So I hate them both.
And
And I want them both to lose.
Chris Abbott's going to join us right away. Just as we were talking about the Flames being elite here before we bring in Abbott, just looking at coolbet.com right now. Coolbet, of course, the presenting sponsor of Two Guys and a Goalie. Here are the most recent odds, the current odds, I guess I should say, to win the Stanley Cup. Colorado, plus 425. Tampa and Florida and Vegas, all 8-1. Toronto, 9-1. Carolina, 12-1. Calgary, 15-1. Pittsburgh, 16-1. Minnesota is 17-1. And the Bruins at 10 at plus 2,100, which is 21-1. So let's bring in Chris Abbott here from Coolbet today. Abbott, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, fellas. I have to agree with the Calgary takes. It's been a few weeks now that I've been watching these guys. Like, yeah, they're fast. They're hard to play. You know what really opened my eyes is when the Leafs went in there. And I know, right? It sounds ridiculous, but
surprise.
Anyway, it's true. I watched that game, right? And it's like, oh, Toronto's they're a contender. They're this, they're that. And the Flames were just their big brother, just like every time the Leafs run up against it in the playoffs. So that opened my eyes to the fact, like, okay, this team could really, really make something of the playoffs here.
So what is there any talk of the Leafs adding something at the deadline here to a little bit more sandpaper?
Well, Gager, don't you know everybody in the league wants Ben Sherratt? Come on.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Dumb question.
I mean, no. They seem to just have stuck by this identity. Unless Wayne Simmons is going to fight 3 times a night, 60 nights a year, then it's not going to work. I think their biggest problem right now, though, is their defense. Jake Muzzin is showing a little bit of age. He hasn't been able to stay healthy either, and they've got a lot of small mobile defensemen, which. Again, regular season is fine, but when you come up against a team that plays heavy, and things get a little crazy in front of the net, it's the same thing that's plagued them for years. They are getting more out of Marner and Matthews and Nylander. I don't think you complain about their forward group at all. I mean, Michael Bunting has found money for sure. You don't even hear Zach Hyman's name in Toronto anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's still going to be prove it. They're going to have to go out and find something, and they've done a good job over the last couple of years of finding something. It's whether that something is going to be able to be a difference maker for them.
Quick question. Can maybe go around the horn. If the Leafs were to play the Flames in a Stanley Cup final right now, who would you guys pick to win it?
Dusty, I'd fly to Mexico and pretend it never happened.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I would hope both rinks develop a very bad infestation of some type of bugs, not lethal ones. I don't want anyone getting hurt, but something where they just wouldn't be able to play. And then they go, and it's like the infection follows them everywhere until they have to cancel the season and award the Stanley Cup to nobody.
I would call in bomb threats to every other NHL facility except Arizona and have them go play in that 5,000 seater.
That's what I was going to say.
Just floor hockey.
If they get kicked out of the Saddle Dome and the ACC, then they just play at University of Toronto and the Dinos rink, right? I'll give a real answer. I'd bet on the Flames because I think they'd be an underdog. I think it would be. Yeah. And I think they should actually probably be the favorite, but I think it'd be close. I think it'd be fun to watch. But I'd take the Flames.
Chris, you guys take
I would watch it
with Canada winning. I mean, you guys probably had a lot of people betting on the Canadian women. Was that a bad result for the book?
No, it was fine because Canada lost everything else at the Olympics, so we were good. We lost the curling, we lost the hockey, but no, I mean, honestly, the line moved probably more than it generally would in a Canada-US game. So we were making the better pay more to bet on Canada. Obviously, you still take a loss. It's a loss we're happy to take because I was so happy to see our women's team win, but. No, overall it was it was fine, but I mean, that more than made up for it on unfortunately the lost curling bets and medals and outrights, and the men's hockey team not getting in the medal round either. So I think we'll be okay.
Have you ever had a bet to say will the cup be presented to a Canadian team at the end of the playoffs? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think we have had that before. I think it'd be a good one to put up right now. Actually,
Right now.
That would be.
I'll get the guys on that. I mean, you know, just the sheer numbers alone, you'd probably get a good number on it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone outside of Montreal and Ottawa are completely out of it in Canada right now. I think there's an argument that either team could really get on a run here. But I do think the Flames are probably best positions, and then the Leafs. And hey, hopefully your Oilers now, your undefeated Oilers with the new coach, right? They turn it around.
Best winning percentage of any team with their coach on the bench right now in the National Hockey League. So that's a positive. Chris, we'll talk to you next week when there'll be another major issue here in Edmonton, I'm sure. All right?
Absolutely. I will talk to you guys next week from Las Vegas.
Back already?
Yeah, man. Dream concert, Metallica at Allegiant Stadium. So this is literally an event trip. So Metallica Friday night, Avs Golden Knights Saturday night, back on Sunday. But
wow.
Yeah.
are you like friends with Jack Eichel or something? Is that his personal?
Does he have friends? He doesn't seem like he's the friendliest kind of guy.
Chris is his neck
Let's
rub
go
guy.
find out.
No,
Let's go find out.
I'm friends with Caesar, and Caesar gives me plenty of hotel rooms. That's all it is.
Thanks a lot.
I have bought, and that's all it is. See you, boys.
There you go. That's Chris Abbott. Nobody goes to Vegas more than Chris Abbott goes to Vegas. That's insane. That's insane. He better like this job for now until he settles down and has kids, because I don't see the trips to Vegas happening that often there. That's crazy. All right, guys, let's get into Keep It or Clip It. 4 questions. Couple Oilers questions, movie question, and you know what? Let's start with this one because we were just talking about it. I like it. It's Keep It or Clip It right here on Two Guys and a Goalie. The Arizona Coyotes' new barn next year is horrible for the National Hockey League. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it. It's horrible. That's awful. But if you were there, wouldn't you go to a game just to see it? That's the thing. I probably, if I was down there, I'd want to go see this catastrophe firsthand. But terrible situation.
Yeah, keep it's terrible, but there's an intrigue there. It's the atmosphere. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'd definitely go check it out.
Yeah, this is it's horrible. It's a joke. Move the team to Houston for 2 or 3 years. Do something. But this is brutal. It's a horrible rink. It's a horrible destination for this. It makes them look like I don't know. They look like in the AHL, and they're playing in an AHL rink. It's Bush League.
Bush League.
I agree. I think it's Bush. But at the same time, when we say it's horrible, but even Gager and Hernan are like, I might want to try to go, which is fine if you're down there. But if you're there all the time, you're not going to want to go to the same barn all the time that seats 5,000 people. And they damn well better have that thing sold out every single night. Because if you got 1,500 empty seats in a 5,000 person, Gary Bettman, you idiot. What are you doing? I know they say ownership's got a lot of money and stuff, and they were hoping for a new arena, but we've been talking about this for 25 bloody years.
Did you see at the All-Star game that Gary Bettman actually said in certain projections they're going to actually do better than they did in their old arena? Come on, Gary. Jeez.
That's how bad it was in the old arena, buddy.
if there's any truth to that, gosh, come on, man. Move him back to Winnipeg.
Come on, man.
All right, question number 2. Mike Smith and Stuart Skinner will be the opening night duo for the Oilers next season. Keep it or clip it.
I'm going to jump ahead on this one and say keep it, because they are both under contract, and Koskinen will be gone, and you need to find some cap savings somewhere. And Stuart Skinner is looking like he's ready to be an NHL goalie. They can't keep him on a string forever. So I'm going to say yep.
I'll say yeah too. Keep it. Money wise, they don't have a lot, and they got to sign some players and shore up some other places. So Skinner, Smith, I wouldn't mind that. actually.
God, guys, I hate to do it, but I got to clip it. I don't think so. I think they're going to package him up, Skinner, and get a different guy in here. That's they're going to have to do that to get someone that they think is a little bit more reliable. Just with what they've done with him this year and how he's played, I just don't think I don't know why, but I just don't think they feel confident with him in net.
The Oilers have officially gotten things back on track. 8-2-1 in their last 11, 3-0 with Woodcroft. Are they back on track officially? Are you willing to go there and say that? Keep it or clip it?
I'm going to clip it just because there's some good signs, but there has to be some more consistency, especially with the goaltending. I mean, Mike Smith seems like he's back. He's got it back on the rails a little bit, but we need to see a bigger sample size and see if he can stay healthy.
Go ahead, Kass.
I'm clipping it. I'm not quite ready. I think they get the bump of adrenaline from Jay Woodcroft coming in, but I got to see the sustained play off of that. So, if they're still playing this way in a week and a half from today, or even in a week from today, then maybe I'd start to say they turned the corner. But I'm not there yet. They haven't made me a full believer that they've turned it. I think the potential is there, the ability is there. They just haven't quite, earned in my mind a decisive. Me definitively saying that they've turned around.
Yeah, I need some more time. All right. Go ahead, Hernan.
I'm with the boys. I've been fooled too many times. Heartbroken too many times. So let's just wait and see.
Final question. 30th anniversary of Wayne's World just passed. Wayne's World was funnier than Austin Powers. Keep it or clip it?
Keep it.
I'll keep it too.
Not even close.
I got to clip it. I got to clip it. I liked Wayne and Garth and stuff, but no, Austin Powers. I was an international man of mystery for a while there, so I
thought Gager was going to say the Love Guru was the best one.
Man,
well, we won't get into what
might be the worst movie of all time.
The Love Guru.
The Love Guru was awful, and it's a hockey movie, and I still hated it, which is just the worst. All right, yeah. So I listened to a podcast, MCTV podcast with Mark Peugeot and Corey Graham. Used to work with us at the radio station, and they just did a whole episode on Wayne's World, and I was like, Wayne's World or Austin Powers? I'd like to go back and watch them both on one night, back to back, and just see which one I find funnier now, because I think I'd be on Wayne's World, but I also laughed my ass off at Austin Powers when the first time I watched that. So.
And Wayne's World, like, both are good. Like, even like the second one.
I like the second one
too.
Yeah. There's some good moments for sure. All right, that's gonna do it. We won't have another episode till Monday. The Oilers play the Ducks, the Jets, and the Wild. Let's go around the horn here, boys. 6 possible points up for grabs. How many do they get?
God, I hate to do this, but I think they only get 2 here.
Oh boy.
They're going to win tonight. We all know the history of the afternoon Saturday game, and the Wild are wild, and that's going to take a godlike effort to beat them. I don't think that's going to happen.
Gager, you said 2 points?
Yeah, tonight and lose the next 2.
Okay, I'm going to say 2 points as well, but I think they lose tonight, win Saturday, and lose Sunday.
Okay. Kass.
Well, you guys both suck, so Oilers are going to get 6 points.
6. I was going to say 4. I think maybe they get 4, but we'll see how it plays out. Boys, fun episode. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll have a bunch of hockey to talk about. Well, Monday's family day, so we'll have to touch base and see what's going on there Monday. Maybe we'll put together a Tuesday episode or something next week to kick things off, because we do have a lot to talk about next week. No doubt about that. For Walking Gage, Matt Kass, and Hernan Salas, I'm Dustin Nielson. 2 Guys and Goalie, presented to you by our friends at Coolbet Canada. Have a good weekend, boys. We'll catch up next week.
See ya.
Yep.